Hello, everyone. Thank you. Raf, who is my partner in this project, cannot make it today. So that means I'll be talking about my projects and not his. Okay, so I think it's fair to kind of present a little context about our practices. Raf works very much around material narratives. He just finished a very large project in Park Royal, very close to the HS2 site. And a lot of my work is around modes of collaboration, participation. I'm also doing a PhD, which should be finished soon, around co-design methodologies. So I'm going to just show you a few very quick projects before we move into the actual subject or project of the day, Sweet Terrain. So projects have involved designing public spaces with young students, parents, and teachers from a school adjacent to a very busy crossroad in Bristol, which we pedestrianised. And that's before, and that was after. I've used aubergines to map informal markets across the world. These are kind of modes of engagement, I guess. I'm looking for idiomatic objects, things that are familiar, and I play the professional stranger, I guess, as a designer when we enter different contexts. One project which is really relevant to Sweet Terrain is a project called Work Leisure, which resulted in me setting my studio up in Park Royal. Park Royal, for those who don't know, it was the largest industrial site in Europe pre-Brexit. 40,000 people still work there. And just a quick intro into that project, and that looked at the things industrial workers made for fun on the side. So some call it frigging, some call it has different kind of terms, but it's the kind of the things that emerge out of the imagination of the workplace. This continued to multiple other cities around the country, but one thing that Park Royal is really kind of known for is production of food. It's also called London's kitchen. Most of the food you find in M&S and so on, the fresh stuff is made in Park Royal. We've seen plenty of images. We've heard the facts. HS2, clay, millions of tons. I'm not going to go into the details. The already disputed details. But I guess how we kind of came across our collaboration was an invitation from HS2. And we really wanted to kind of engage the local industrial fabric, I guess. And we looked to food. This is the clay, that's me. That's the site. That's the site for. I mean, we're kind of zooming in now. This is the site for the train station, Old Oak Common. I'm not going to tell you when the doors are going to open. But around this area, there are multiple bakeries, right? There are 20-odd bakeries. And I already had my studio there for a long time, so I kind of already engaged with a lot of these people. And more specifically, these are Middle Eastern bakeries. They bring their tools, their knowledge, and everything else with them, and they serve the whole country and some international. We looked at a particular sweet called the marmol, produced and enjoyed by many people for thousands of years. Interestingly, from the Levant region, and it crosses over all different religions. All those that are in dispute or in conflict today all enjoy this. Okay. From there, we started creating a taxonomy of the tools that they use, and these are the wooden molds that the bakers use, and we work with three or four different bakers. We started looking at the molds, the processes, and so on. And I'm just going to play a short video that should explain the project. It's a 2-minute video that we made just recently for the biennial, and I think that's going to do a better job than me.
Sweet Terrain transforms tons of excavated clay from HS2's Old Oak Common Station in West London. the UK's largest infrastructure project into a valuable local product. We collaborated with a community of Middle Eastern bakeries in the area, discovering a poetic and meaningful connection between ceramics and their traditional making processes.
The willingness of the local bakers, the community, has been incredible. I mean, without their participation, this project would be nowhere. You know, we understand their stories and their ideas of tradition, migration, the tools that they've brought with them.
These are all hand-carved, as you see, proper masterpieces, someone chiseling into the wood. Then they carve these intricate patterns here.
These are some of the motifs, and we finally chose three, one of which is the classic marmot. This is what it looked like.
Marmot as a type of sweet have been around since the ancient Egyptians. All cultures have enjoyed these for thousands of years.
Each tile is made by hand by Craven Dunhill Jackfield, stamped on the back.
Craven Dunhill have got a lovely tradition with working with the London Underground, reproducing tiles to restore some of those tube stations. And in this case, we're digging clay from Old Oak Common to produce these tiles, which are based on the biscuit making. We're taking the original wooden biscuit moulds, and from that we can produce our tile moulds to replicate those designs on the tiles themselves.
You know, working with these communities of bakers who have been in their trade for generations and using their tools in a completely different way. Instead of putting dough and semolina, we're putting local clay. Instead of baking them, we're firing them. When these tiles enter the public realm, the local bakers and the local community have been involved in the process, understand that they were part of this project, and that transformation, that connection is so important. Yeah, so the project really had a couple of quite important questions for us. One was, how do you embed culture within infrastructure? And also, what's the relationship between sustainability and industrial heritage? And I think we were able to somehow bridge these and answer these, at least for ourselves initially, before, I think this is on automatic play. Maybe let's take it. Oh, yeah, sorry, having some technical issues. But the idea is that we are producing 300 square meters of these tiles, for the train station, which is really interesting to have the subsoil, the clay coming back to the surface, but also transformed by the communities that we hope remain there. You know, obviously the hallmarks of regeneration projects are also decanting people and gentrification. But I think, it's very important for us that we engage with historic makers, traditional makers in this country, trying to support them as they support us with the amount of knowledge they have. But yeah, collaboration is really an idea of kind of a knowledge exchange. Also migrant knowledge, which is something we don't normally think about. These are just some images from our wonderful collaboration with Craven Dunhill, and we're still in the process of just finalizing things, but. They're very present around the country. If you know the things that they've made, just some images. We talk some of our product, some of the final products, testing. We have some samples on display at the biennial. I'll show you an image of the installation. Some early visuals for conversations with HS2 architects, very interesting to see how such a project can find itself in such the UK's largest ever new train station. And this is the image of the installation at Spodeworks, which plays the video, but also it's very tactile. We promote people to come and touch it, and we have some of the tools there as well. Yeah, that's it. That's Raf, and that's me. It was a very long and close project for us, and we started looking like each other and dressing like each other at some point. Like inverted clothes, and many kind of strange things were happening. Thank you very much. That's all.